Traditional front-to-back comp, they've got a lot of poke with both the Talia, the Ezreal, and the Karma on their side, as BLG gone for a different style of team fight with a little bit wombo combo, rounding out.
Got very dangerous, but Inspired is here.
Inspired's here, and Whippo's already got the passive heal. Goes for the Q2, a little bit more damage is all they need. The stun is there, Q3, first blood for Whippo and FlyQuest.
This is what we expected to see, based on what we saw in the draft. By rounding out with the Sejuani, the passive synergizes nicely with the Aatrox, and getting this Aatrox ahead is much needed in the matchup.
And that was a no-base Sejuani. Basejuan now on bottom side, though.
Yeah, Basejuan wants to find some impact on the other side of the map. Busio flashes over, Basejuan's ready to follow. Busio's got the shield to keep himself protected. Basejuan's going deep underneath the turret. A third shot's gonna fire out, and Basejuan's down to 150 HP. A little bit of protection from On as he tries to make sure that his jungler is able to get away. The Mystic shot missed, and Inspired stops him just in time. Basejuan's already used his summoner spells, and Inspired sends him packing. A delayed Ultra Q to follow it up, and Masu is in hot pursuit. Elk in full retreat as On's gonna eat a lot of damage on the back end of things as well. Feet of Warfare claimed Masu and
recognize that they could just actually go straight towards the dragon, and FlyQuest not really in a position to contest on the top side of the map. You can see that Bin is developing a bit of a CS advantage, but securing that plate will basically put the gold dead even. When we kind of look at the bottom of your screen, there is a lot of blue. Busio not really in any danger, uses the shield to mitigate the double up coming through from Elk. But in terms of gold, it seems very even across the board, but Inspired's looking to change that level 6 on the Sejuani.
Exactly, the Glacial Prison is ready to fire. As long as it's not blocked by a Nico clone, they're gonna be in a real good spot. On is already down, and the prison finds its way onto Elk. Now he's got the cleanse. Knight looking for the FlyQuest top laner. Whippo using the World Ender to get a little bit of extra space as Basejuan goes in. Masu under pressure now. BLG's jungler with a ton of damage. The Tangle Barbs follow it up. And Basejuan is doing a lot of work with On right behind him. Busio's got to try to get away next. Nice stun from Inspired, looking to protect his support as Basejuan and On continue applying the pressure. Knight's arrived, and he buries Busio to continue his retreat, and Whippo's still chasing. FlyQuest get one kill, and it's on the enemy jungler. Now the dragon, still leashed from earlier, goes their way too.
Inspired taking the initiative to take over that critical brush right there and make the early
have a lot
move.
of poke at their disposal. They need to play patient. That was a scary situation there for Quad, but BLG have regained control.
Ooh, nice seismic shove there onto Bin, but remember, he is very tanky against that magic damage, but not the physical follow-up. Masu putting a ton of damage into him, and all goes in! Bullet time over the top! And FlyQuest evaporate a beautiful combo from the BLG bot lane duo to instantly win the fight. Busio has to flash away now as he and Inspired try to retreat. Whippo goes in, Inspired tries to follow, but FlyQuest may have overplayed their hand. Whippo wants a little bit more. Busio doesn't have the firepower to secure any kind of a kill. FlyQuest still scrapping back here as Whippo.
But the Herald still alive for now as BLG set the sights on the Whippo.
Whippo's got to try to get out of this one, but a 1v3, it doesn't seem likely. Basejuan, Bin, and Knight have more than enough damage to take care of this target, but On's going to show up for the Tangle Barbs just to guarantee it. BLG get kill number 6.
I was worried for BLG because, again, I thought that they'd overcommitted because they were forced to reset, and the FlyQuest reset back out onto the map meant they could have started the Herald. Instead, they just looked to get control of the waves. Whippo gets picked on the top side, and now they have numbers advantage on the Herald.
Yeah, they're teleporting Quad in right now, so Talia coming with the wall.
Beautiful engage coming out there from Inspired, though. Basejuan almost dead here at the very start of the fight, but he does manage to get enough distance until Masu shifts over the wall to take him down. Now Bin's got to try to run, but he's stunned up by the Sejuani yet again. Masu and Quad putting the bullets into Bin's back, and Quad gets another kill between worlds and manages to get himself away to safety in the river. That's 2 ultimates down, 1 on either side. Inspired going in after Basejuan, chasing after the Xinjiao as On fires Tangle Barbs backwards, trying to slow down Quad as Basejuan escapes with an audacious charge over the wall to the red buff.
Skirmish after skirmish. I feel like there was a big window for FlyQuest to just force the dragon there because we saw Elk use his ulti with all Knight.
And they've started up the dragon here. Bin, the mega tank, starting it out, rotating over. It looks like they do have the teleport option for Knight, so even though Knight doesn't have his ultimate, he could teleport in.
Yeah, Inspired jumps over the wall with a blast cone, but he only finds the remains of the Drake as BLG have completed the objective. FlyQuest won't be there in time to try to get anything back, so BLG...
FlyQuest as they try and move in.
Okay, TP coming in. We'll see. You've already got On in the control ward inside the pit. Bwipo's gonna be the front line here. There's your Pop Blossom, but it only finds the tanks. A lot of damage there with Bwipo as he flashes back over the wall with the bullet time. Looking to cut him down a little lower. Quad fires back. Inspired's on a rampage, and On's already down. Elk and Knight firing into Inspired as Ben has to flash away. Knight wants to go between worlds, but Inspired's dancing all around him. Bwipo on the front line as Quad gets another kill, and BLG are falling to pieces. Masu kills Elk, and Knight goes over the wall. Ben's
I'm
dead.
becoming a believer in the Aatrox. Let's take a look at it. As you say, On from the brush with the control ward does lock up the front line at first, but Bwipo, look at him. He flashes.
Just purchased the Sterix right before he teleported into that fight. It was an absolutely critical break point to allow him to survive and FlyQuest to win that fight. If he didn't have the gold lead he did, it wouldn't have worked. Inspired! It's a point-and-click ability when he's playing Sejuani. It's another kill for free for FlyQuest as immediately the response from BLG, they have to use a TP to get Knight away.
That is the North American MVP right there, boys. Inspire doing so much work this game. He's only missed out on participating in a single kill in the entire game right now, 4-0-6.
Experience. They pretty much neutralized that disadvantage, and now with the Dragon spawning in 5 seconds, oh, they don't care about that. They just want more control. They want more picks.
Yeah, On is in some danger here. Has to try to get away, but Bwipo's ready to follow it up. Goes for the Infernal Chains. On! There's not enough clones to get away from that Aatrox. Bwipo picks up his 3rd kill of the game. FlyQuest will see if this Nico can find a big Pop Blossom. His flash cooldown is almost ready to go. Inspired here with the front line. On goes in. He finds the Pop Blossom of Masu. FlyQuest AD carry is still alive, and he's trying to get away as Bwipo wants to peel. Masu stays alive. Bwipo here with the front line, but he's all alone. Quad firing damage into the health bars, but the shutdown goes over to On's Nico. Knight continuing to try to look for Masu, seeing if maybe he can try to pick him off. Quad and Busio still healthy, firing their skill shots towards BLG, trying to buy a little bit more time to keep BLG away from Soul Point. Masu's gonna go ahead and recall. Inspired is making his way back out onto the map as Busio marks Knight and finds him with the Q inside the pit. Ben blocking, trying to just get in the way of all the skill shots from Quad, and the Dragon and Soul Point are secured by BLG.
The damage still comes through, though. Bin gonna be rooted up.
Bin pretty tanky, though, if the only damage is the support, the jungler, and Quad's to Leah, but he's not tanky enough. Quad goes on a killing spree, and Elk's the next target. He uses the cleanse to try to use the blast cone to get away, but Quad jumps in right on top of him. Knight wants to fire back, and it makes it a 1-for-1. A double for Quad, but it's ended by Elk. Now, Knight tries to get away too. He goes between worlds. It's enough to get him out of there. Busio's low, but Beishuan can't finish the job. Bwipo's ready to spread his wings and run forward, and Masu has rejoined the battle. Beishuan's locked up, and FlyQuest wants more blood. On's about to drop right next to his jungler, and FlyQuest is racking up a body count.
Props to
And I think FlyQuest could have made a play for the Baron, but they were hungry for kills.
All right, Ben and Knight gonna find Bwipo here with the Brox is on, goes for the engage. It's a catch under Quad. FlyQuest mid laner is about to die, but he kikes it out and kills On instead. Beishuan and Knight get the job done, and Quad's gonna be traded, but FlyQuest still looks to continue the scrap. Everybody else on BLG still standing tall, but a Root ready to come out forces the ulti out of Ben. He doesn't get a lot of distance, but he does get away for now. Masu still
BLG. Right now, it's Bwipo sitting on a side lane, really reaching that raid boss status. Elk in a bit of danger.
Yeah, you can see Masu's Mystic Shot with all of the cooldown reduction that he has. Just has no cooldown, but there, Quad gonna be caught out again, but he gets himself away. Now bullet time is down. Now the ulti from the Aurora's not ready either. Inspired jumps in, BLG retreating. Bwipo coming around on the flank as Ben is gonna be stunned up here on the front line. There's the tank for BLG running away with almost no HP left to play with. Inspired catches Beishuan, and Masu's ready to follow. Bwipo chasing on the back end of the fight, and he stabs Beishuan through the heart. First kill over to FlyQuest there as Elk has to run. Masu and Quad still firing, and FlyQuest have killed the enemy jungler. They put the enemy support on his last legs, and they're heading over to the Baron.
They've got to go start it up, Flowers. The FlyQuest war machine here does not stop. The Sejuani and Aatrox front line here, chasing them down with the constant speed-ups from the Karma. Inspired holding his ultimate so they can actually get the chase down kill on a particular target. You mentioned it, take out the enemy smite, and they're gonna get that Baron.
FlyQuest can't afford to waste any more time, though, because they've got to get back to base. The Dragon spawning in.
Immediately going to chase after Knight, forces him down to about 10% HP, and the flash is already gone from the BLG mid. Now Bin's about to get stunned up, but he uses the ulti to buffer through the Sejuani CC. Whippo continuing to pose a threat here on the sidelines as FlyQuest have taken control of the bot side river. They're going to secure the Drake.
Whippo knows his job well. Constantly we see him going to attack this Aurora, attack the attempted flanker to take out the threat. If he can exchange his ultimates and go 1-for-1 on ultimate cooldowns there with an Aurora, it is a big benefit to the rest of the team.
On wanted to stick around, see if he could steal that team-wide blue buff away. Does get away from being potentially caught there. FlyQuest pushing onto the tier 2.
Critically, Knight saved his ultimate, so maybe they want to go for a counterplay.
Inspired jumping in there. Elk takes a ton of damage. True shot barrage nearly kills him off. Elk's got to go all the way back to the fountain, and FlyQuest are kicking in the front door. Bottom lane tier 3 turret destroyed. Inhibitor is the next target. FlyQuest will clean up both. Over by BLG as they retreat, knowing that one more bad fight is just the end of the game. FlyQuest have the time to take out the tier 2 in the top lane. The gold lead extends to 9,000. The catch again from Inspired as On dies before he can find anything. There's your clutch factor. There's your Pop Blossom. Gone for the next 30 seconds.
FlyQuest, they're looking to take another tower. They're looking for the Nexus towers. They're looking to take game 1 of this series.
FlyQuest onto the second inhibitor here in mid lane. Quad also clearing the minions out from bottom as the super minions are about to start flowing in. Knight in some danger, has to try to get himself away from this, but he's already lost half HP. Wave crashing into the tier 3 turret top. That last inhibitor will not last long. FlyQuest using Masu and Whippo to put the damage into that while everyone else applies the poke, harassing towards BLG as they defend at their Nexus turrets. Bin's on the front line and On's back alive. BLG have their 5-man defense, but FlyQuest are undeterred. They'll keep the minion waves dying on spawn as they keep finding the pressure. On goes the engage, but there's no follow-up. Masu's on a rampage. Beishwan dies as he tries